Hello everyone, back in today's first video, doing USA forecast for today's first video. So usually USA forecast on a Monday or on a Thursday. Because of all the other content we're having to do at the moment with winter updates and that kind of thing, we have reduced the USA forecast to once a week on a Wednesday. So here we go. I'm going to do USA forecast for you very shortly. To say that these are YouTube exclusive videos. They are not embedded to GWV.com. So if you want to see these videos, then you do need to subscribe to GWV's YouTube channel. And make sure you click all notifications and they'll be notified by YouTube when we are releasing these videos every Wednesday. We're going to be live stream the 10 to 14 day video update from 6 o'clock this evening. That's going to be from 6 o'clock this evening. Live stream the 10 to 14 day video update. So yeah, have a look at that. Check in with us from 6 o'clock this evening. We'll show all the usual features, be within a live stream, so we'll also be taking questions and generally having a bit of fun for an hour between 6 and 7 o'clock this evening. But beginning with the USA forecast then, in the tropical Atlantic. So look at all this lot that we've still got in the tropical Atlantic. So much going on. We will cover all of this in our all of these sort of areas, storms and disturbance areas. We'll cover them in the live stream this evening. But the one that really is affecting the USA directly at the moment is Sally. Hurricane Sally just here, which is moving out of Gulf of Mexico and onto the Gulf Coast of the United States as we speak. So Sally is giving maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 965 millibars. Sally's moving very, very slowly as well at 3 miles per hour, moving very slowly at 3 miles per hour. There's also this yellow X just here that's much further southwards in the Gulf of Mexico. It doesn't look like that one is going to be impacting the USA directly, but it's going to sort of meander over southern Gulf of Mexico coast. Probably will finish up somewhere in Mexico, I would have thought. And there is a 40% chance in the next 5 days that could become a tropical cyclone. But the main one for America at the moment is Sally. We've also got Teddy over here. Now, eventually Teddy is going to become a major hurricane and going to move towards Bermuda. That might, later next week, that might get up towards this east coast of the States. Teddy might get to the east coast of the United States sometime next week. Quite a bit of uncertainty about that, though, at the moment. So it's just one to watch, I think. But yeah, looking at Sally in more detail then. So giving maximum sustained winds, as I said, at 105 miles per hour. That is a Category 2 hurricane, a high-end Category 2 hurricane. It's not that far from like reaching Category 3 status, which would be like maximum sustained of 110 miles per hour. So it's a high-end Category 2 hurricane. Remember, those are maximum sustained winds. So gusts are going to be in excess of that. Gusts could be kind of like 120 miles per hour, I would have thought. Now, if we click on Sally, we can see what Category 2 hurricane Sally is being forecast to do. So we have to go here. So this hurricane is going to carry on moving inland into Alabama during the next sort of few hours, becoming a tropical storm by tomorrow. Of course, losing its energy as it leaves the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, losing its energy, becoming a tropical storm, then a tropical depression, and then going post-tropical as it gets to South Carolina by the time we get through to Friday. Main points with Hurricane Sally are these. Point number 1 from National Hurricane Center saying historic and catastrophic flooding is unfolding along and just inland of the coast from West Tallahassee, Florida to Mobile Bay, Alabama. In addition, widespread moderate to major river flooding is forecast. Significant flash and urban flooding, as well as widespread minor to moderate flooding, is likely across inland portions of Alabama into central Georgia. A widespread flash and urban flooding is possible, as well as widespread minor to moderate river flooding across western South Carolina into western and central North Carolina. Scattered flash and urban flooding is possible, as well as scattered minor river flooding in southeast Virginia. Point number 2, life-threatening storm surge is occurring along portions of the coastline from Alabama to the western Florida Panhandle, including Pensacola Bay and southern portions of Mobile Bay. Hurricane conditions are expected this morning and then continue into this afternoon within portions of the hurricane warning area along the Mississippi and Alabama coastline and the western Florida Panhandle. So it really is in that extreme southeastern corner of the Gulf of Mexico, but we've got really quite devastating weather courtesy of Category 2 Hurricane Sally. And if anybody's watching from that area, of course, please do heed the warnings and advice from the National Hurricane Center and from NOAA as well. Do whatever you need to do to stay safe. And yeah, I think it should start to ease in the next day or so, but at the moment things are very, very rough down on that Gulf Coast, courtesy of Sally. This is the latest wind flow map from earth-nullschool.net, just showing up all of those different disturbance areas. So there's so many of them at the moment. That one, of course, is Paulette up here. That never really impacted the United States, I don't think. This is Teddy down here. As I say, Teddy is probably going to get quite close to the East Coast sometime next week. More about that later. But Teddy might sort of bring something close to the East Coast anyway, but not quite make it. And then, of course, this is Sally just here. This is Hurricane Sally. So let's pull this around and zoom in as well to get a closer look at Sally on this wind flow map from earth-nullschool.net, and really does highlight how nasty this hurricane is. Really big circulation around this hurricane. It's a Category 2, high-end Category 2 hurricane. It's not that far off a Category 3. And yeah, this is a very, very nasty hurricane indeed, but is battering the Gulf Coast of the United States as we speak. This is the midnight run of the GFS from tropicaltidbits.com. So again, this is just another way of looking at all of these different disturbance areas. So we've got Paulette just here, for example. We've got, I think that one's Vicky just there. That's not going to do a great deal. We've got Teddy just here. That could become a major hurricane, or probably will become a major hurricane over the weekend into next week. There's Sally just there. Let's see what the GFS is forecasting to happen in the tropical Atlantic. So these are sort of the areas that you need to be keeping an eye on for the tropical Atlantic. Let's see what the GFS is forecasting to happen during the tropical Atlantic, in the tropical Atlantic in the next few days. So Sally moves inland. That's the first thing to say. Sally moves inland, becomes weaker as it leaves the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Vicky begins to die a death. We've got Paulette coming in an area of low pressure just there. And then we've got Teddy. That's the one to keep an eye on, I think. Teddy, just there. Let's see what Teddy does on the midnight run of the GFS. So eventually Sally sort of ends up in the Atlantic around here as an area of low pressure. Teddy increasingly whipping itself up as we go through the weekend. And then to next week, you notice that Teddy is getting a little closer towards the east coast of the state. So there's Teddy just there, like off the east coast of the state. There is a large ridge that's across the northern and eastern parts of America that is keeping Teddy at bay. So at the moment it looks like Teddy will probably remain out in the Atlantic, although it does push northwards as a very vigorous area of low pressure, and possibly sort of clips in this northeastern coast. It looks like it's sort of affecting Newfoundland and Nova Scotia a little bit more, but does get quite close to the northeastern coast of the states with Teddy. And of course, it's some way off. This is like, what time stamp is that? So that's 180 hours away. So that's like next Thursday. So it's quite a long way off, and it is getting reasonably close to the east coast of the states. So needs to be kept an eye on that. It does need to be kept a very close eye on what happens with Teddy, which will probably become a major hurricane, probably Category 3 or Category 4 next week. Eventually Teddy moves out into the Atlantic. Then it looks like things are sort of quieting down a little bit. There isn't like another little disturbance area just here by the time we move towards day 10. There's something around there. It looks like sort of later next week the tropics begin to calm down a little bit perhaps. Although, as I say, there is something getting going around there. So again, it's just, that's quite a long way off though. I mean, that's like, that's getting towards day 10. So that's a very, very long way off in this kind of situation. I expect the Tropical Atlantic will probably be a little bit more active than that shows actually around day 10. But we shall see. At the moment, we've got plenty to be focusing on, I think. These are the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts of Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the left and the GFS over on the right. So 500 millibars is an area in absolute high pressure, low pressure. I've been moved around by jet stream. Red and orange extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure. Blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. So you can see that with the ECM, we've got this ridge here across the northern, sort of midwestern and northern parts of the United States. So that can be quite a cool ridge though. That'll have some quite cool air with it for a time anyway. But then things will probably start to warm up actually as we get to around day 10. We'll probably see things warm up. But for a time in the north and the northeast, it is going to get quite cool. Trough low pressure off the Pacific coast as well into Pacific Northwest. That's a fairly regular feature of that part of the world. GFS is very similar again with this ridge in the north and in the northeast as well. Right, so let's have a look at the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensemble. So I'm looking at Philadelphia over on the eastern side of America today. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Philadelphia. So we're starting off a little bit warmer than average at the moment, but temperatures, as I say, are cooling down over the coming days. It's going to get quite cool actually in the northeast and the east of America. So through the weekend, it's only about next week, becoming quite cool with those upper air temperatures. Then they start to lift up a little bit. Then they start to pick up a little bit as we go into the last week of September. They begin to lift up and get just a little bit warmer as we go into the last week of September. Things begin to warm up then. Precipitation-wise, a lot of dry weather. High pressure is going to be in the ascendancy, I think, for northern eastern parts of states in the next week or two. So loads and loads of dry weather in the coming week or coming couple of weeks. Temperature anomalies from the 16th to 24th of September will be warmer than average in the west and in the northwest. Significantly warmer than average up there. Eastern parts of America, cooler than average. Below average temperatures into the east, warmer than average into the west. Precipitation anomalies from the 16th to 24th of September. Generally, it's a drier than average scene across most parts of the states. Most parts of America looking drier than average. The southeastern corner is a little bit west average. That, of course, is significant west average. That, of course, is a result of Sally. So you can see how the west average anomalies start there and sort of spread up into this southeastern corner. So that's all a result of Hurricane Sally. But most parts of America actually very substantially drier than average due to high pressure being in control. But the temperatures really displaying that east-west split again. So hotter than average in the west, cooler than average over in the east. This is how the GFS is looking for today. So there, of course, is Hurricane Sally moving on to that Gulf Coast of the states. Otherwise, there's low pressure up into the north. Let's try to push up in towards the North Canada, I should say. Let's try to push cooler air out of Canada into northern parts of states. Otherwise, most other parts of America are dominated by high pressure. Upper air temperature looking very warm across most parts of states, away from the very far north where it is cooler. Cooler air is digging in from Canada. Actually cold across central parts of Canada with -5 Celsius isotherm there through central parts of Canada. Cool for much of the far north of America, but otherwise pretty warm, especially so in this western southwestern part where it is hot. Moving through the next few days, so we find that cooler air digging southwards across the north and east America with this ridge of high pressure moving down from Canada as well. So high pressure takes over, it becomes mainly dry in the north and northeast under this ridge, but of course it will be quite cool there. On the western side of the ridge, though, it still remains pretty hot through the west and midwest and then out into western parts of states. So there's the upper air temperature, so you see how cool it's getting in the east and the northeast America. Big cool down into that northeastern corner, proper sort of fall autumnal type feel. But going into like the west of the Midwest, actually sort of rocky mountain states, actually we start to pull up more heat again from the southwest. But in the northwest it's cooler there as the air is digging in from off the Pacific Ocean. As we run through the weekend side of next week, again this high pressure is dominating across eastern and northeastern parts of America. In the west it does look sort of northwest does look a little bit more unsettled. There's going to be a lot of dry weather with that area of high pressure running up towards day 10. There will be plenty of dry weather with that ridge. Getting beyond day 10. We look like this. Again, high pressure over to the east of America into the United States. So a lot of dry weather continues in the east of America. Out to west, it does look a little bit more unsettled there, actually, across those western sectors. So maybe some showers and thunderstorms beginning to get going. Eventually, by the time we get through to the end of the GFS run, which gets us to 2nd of October, 384 hours away, looks like we're digging in a trough of low pressure from Canada then. That could start to spread rain across many northern and northeastern parts of the states. Upper temperatures look like that. So beyond day 10, it does start to warm up a bit in the east, but the real heat remains trapped out to west, and particularly so in this southwestern corner. Let's just go back very quickly, and you can see that, so there's Teddy just there. So that does show how close Teddy is getting to the extreme northeast of America. That's 23rd of September, a week today. Getting pretty close to that northeastern, extreme northeast part of America. It doesn't quite get a hit, though, because it's a long way off. So it is getting towards the vicinity of northeastern of northeast America and up towards Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, most of the areas. So just one to watch what's going to happen with that major hurricane Teddy. ECM looks like that. So again today we've got Sally down here moving on to the Gulf Coast and giving a real battering of severe winds and also very significant rain as well. Into the weekend we find this ridge moving down from Canada. That's going to be a cool ridge with a lot of cool air associated with it as well. So there will be a chilly feel for the weekend start next week in the east and the northeast of America. Out to west, it's going to be quite a lot hotter through there. Now that's Wednesday. So on Wednesday, the ECM gets Teddy closer to the east coast of America. So just that extreme sort of east coast, northeast coast of America, I suppose I should say, getting quite close then. More towards Canada, more towards the Atlantic coast of Canada, really. But again, it does need keeping a very, very close eye on what's happening with that major hurricane for the extreme northeast America. Not really the eastern seaboard so much, I don't think. Most of the east seaboard is on about ridge of high pressure, but just this very, very far northeastern corner probably needs to be kept a close eye. Something like Maine, I suppose, could get an impact. Moving up towards day 10, so that's how we look at get to day 10. Then this ridge is still very across many parts of America and begin to warm up from the south as well. So to turn hotter from the south, but it really is going to be in the west and the southwest. We haven't spoken much about in this video because we've been focusing on like the east with the cool down and also what's happening with these tropical storms and hurricanes. But in the west, the heat remains. Heat goes on across most of those western states as we go up towards day 10. Let's have a look at CMSV2 before we go. So these are 500 millibar heights. So they're broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period will take us from the 16th to 22nd of September. The coming week we'll have this ridge of high pressure building in across many northern parts of the states. It's a cool ridge though, bringing quite cool air from the north. In the west it remains quite hot. Week 2 is going to be the 23rd, 29th September. Ridge of high pressure event across the northern states. That's probably going to allow things to turn warmer, I think, from the south. That area of low pressure just there, that's below average heights. That's probably Teddy getting quite close to that northeastern coast of the states. We go through to week 3, which is the 30th of September, 6th of October. Ridge receding back up towards Canada and also out in the northwest. There's a trough of low pressure in the east. That could bring some quite cool and unsettled weather to the east. Whether that's associated with another sort of storm or something, hurricane, I don't know. But there could be something a bit unsettled there going on, quite unsettled, quite cool, going on for the first week of October for the east of America. And then we go through to week 4, which is the 7th to 13th of October. The ridge is moving southwards then, and I think probably just establishing more of a westerly flow, so probably turning more unsettled with winds in from like the west across those northern parts of the states. Temperature anomalies. I'm actually going to pause the video very briefly. I'll just pause the video back shortly. Okay, so that looks better. The view of the temperature and precipitation numbers I've got up was what I'm used to when I'm doing the UK videos and the videos for Europe. But this is like the zoomed-in view for America. Right, sorry about that. That's got things back on track. So temperature anomalies from the 16th, 22nd of September. East-west split or northwest-southeast split probably. So the west and the northwest are going to be hotter than average in weekend. But look how cool it is in the east and in the northeast. Very substantially cooler than average with those blue colours turning up, and that's taking the temperature like below 3 degrees below average, I think. This is week 2, which is the 23rd, 29th of September, so it's still pretty cool actually in this southeastern corner, but most parts of the states warming up, most of these northern states getting warmer, and particularly so out in the west. And yeah, so that looks like a very warm week coming up for the northern part of the states, but it is cooler in the southeastern part of America. Week 3 is the 30th of September, 6th of October, hotter than average in the north and the west, a little bit on the cooler side in the east and in the southeast. And then week 3 is the 7th to 13th of October, generally just warmer than average in most parts of the states, a little bit cooler, extreme northeast, near normal in the southeast, but most parts of the states, by the time you get through to 7th to 13th of October, are forecast to be quite significantly hotter than average. And then the precipitation anomaly for week 1, 16th, 22nd of September. Very wet in the southeastern corner, as we've already established. That's as a result from Hurricane Sally. Otherwise, these eastern, northeastern states, dominated by that cool ridge of high pressure, are also going to be very dry, near normal precipitation out to the west. Week 2, rainfall anomalies from 23rd, 29th September. Again, it's drier than average in the east and in the northeast. Out to the west, it's near normal with precipitation through those western states. Then, week 3, which is the 30th of September, 6th of October. Generally just looking quite dry across most central parts of the states, but it does look wet down across the Gulf, so it's wetter than average through here. That could be tropical storm or hurricane related. Also around Florida and out into the Atlantic, possibly up in the northeast as well. Then we get through to week 4, which is the 7th to the 13th of October. And again, quite a dry scene, really, actually. So into October, there's a fair amount of dry weather being forecast here, but still looking pretty wet through the tropics and into the Gulf and those sort of areas where we expect them to be wet at this point of the year, given we are in peak tropical storm and hurricane season. Right, so that's it. So at the moment, of course, the focus is on Sally. Focus is on Sally. Things are very rough down on the Gulf Coast again, between Florida and Alabama at the moment. If you are there, please stay safe. Heed the warnings from National Hurricane Center and from the worst will be over in like a few hours' time, but you've got a rough few hours of it to go at the moment. Beyond that, so then we're focusing on the cool ridge dropping into the north and the east of America. That's going to bring a real taste of autumnal weather, fall weather, I suppose, as we're doing a USA video. That will bring a real taste of fall weather to northern and eastern parts of America over the weekend and into the early part of next week. Eventually things will start to warm up later next week, I think, in the north and in the east. Always remain hot in the west and the southwest. And then Teddy, just a few question marks. Around a week's time, Major Hurricane Teddy will probably come somewhere close to the northeastern corner of the states. And how close it gets to that northeastern corner of the states is, of course, to be determined. Right then, so that's it for USA video for this week. We'll do it all over again next week. Please like, share, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think. And we're going to be back at 6 o'clock with live stream, where we will show all the regular features for UK and European viewers. For this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.